the man, master, would be to this day we must
Quit that!
You know where they are, else you wouldn't be here. That's my neighbor, Miss Blake.
Come on, man, let's go get him. Long time, you idiot. Get up here.
You can never harm my books. They don't hurt anybody or anything.
You know the law. Where's your common sense? Snap out of it, you crazy lady. This whole house is going up in flames.
You're not leaving her here.
Well, she won't come.
Force her then.
You're needed back at the house anyways. I mean, they always try suicide. It's like a pattern.
You can come with me.
No, thank you anyways.
I'm counting to 10, and that's it. 1,
Please.
Go on.
3, 4,
Here, come on.
I want
5,
to stay here.
6.
You can stop counting. Go on. Are you drunk? What? What did you say?
Hi, book. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle you. I meant to ask you.
What?
Where did we meet originally and when?
I don't know. It was so long ago.
Melly, it was 10 years. 10 short years. Does this relationship not matter enough to you?
What's the big deal? We're happy with the family we have in the walls.
What? I'm not happy.
Well, I am.
Well, isn't there a wall between Mildred and I when you come down to it? Not just one, but 3, and expensive too. And she thinks the people in it are her family. The biggest memory I had of Mildred was a little girl in the forest with no trees. How odd, sitting in the middle of this living room, no matter when I come in, the walls are always talking to Mildred.
Man, with all these houses, man, broad day, you all day. Stop, man. Stop, dude. Oh, man.
What is this all about? Who is mad at who, anyways?
Well, wait around and see.
I feel like I was just thrown from a cliff and fell into emptiness and never quite touched the bottom. I fell so fast that I did not quite touch anything.
And you put it back down
There.
What do you want?
It was really fascinating. Something had happened. I felt like I was drowned into the music. That's all very well, but, what are they mad about? I mean, what's the problem here? Why are they complaining? Good God, nothing's connecting up.
They had this fight. They fight a lot, actually. I think they're married.
It was not 3 walls. It was Mildred driving 100 miles an hour with earbuds in her ears. Mildred, wake up.
Yes?
You know that girl next door?
What girl next door?
You know, the high school girl?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen her in 4 days. 4 days to be exact. And do you know where she's been?
I'm pretty sure she's gone. The whole family moved out. Dead, maybe. She was one of those crazy people.
We can't be talking about the same girl. No way.
Yeah, the same girl. 4 days ago, she got ran over by a car.
Not sure of it.
No, not sure. Pretty sure.
4 days ago.
There's no way you can be sick. You can't be.
Well, darn, I'm sick. Can you please give me some aspirin?
You were just fine last night.
I was anything but fine last night. And please, give me some aspirin.
You need to get up. You slept 5 hours later than usual.
Can you please turn down the parlor?
That's my family.
Well, please turn it down for a sick man.
Fine.
Thank you.
Is that better? You made me turn out my favorite program.
Well, yeah, but I'm still sick. Can you please give me some aspirin? Because seriously, you can't figure out how to comply to my request.
Is everything okay? You seemed a little off last night.
No, everything is not okay. We burnt a lady last night in a fire.
Well, I had a perfectly fine time watching my parlor.
What was on?
Programs.
What program?
Is going to be greatly impact her grades.
It's not the best ever. And why did you do that?
Well, geez, stop trying to avoid the fact that we burnt a lady with her books last night.
Well, what's wrong with that? Isn't that what you usually do?
Well, it's not exactly the same as usual. It felt different.
Seems fine to me.
Wasn't fine.
get the big deal about all this.
Well, we burnt copies of amazing books. Books that will be never read again.
You don't expect me to call Beatty, do you?
You must!
Don't shout.
Well, currently I'm not able to call him because I am sick.
So, just because of one night, one lady, and some books, you're gonna give up your whole life?
Well, you should have seen her, Millie.
You worked an early shift today. You should have been at work nearly 2 hours ago.
Well, great. Oh, look, now you've done it. Look out front. Oh, shut those relatives up. I just thought I'd come and drop by to see the sick man.
Oh, how did you guess?
Oh, I've seen it all. You were going to call in for a day off of work, weren't you? So then take the night off. When will you be well?
Tomorrow, maybe. Next week.
Every one of you men hits this stage eventually. They just need to understand how it works. And, have to know the history of our job. They don't tell the rookies like they used to. Darn shame. Only the chiefs remember it now. I'll let you in on it. When did this whole thing start, you ask? This job of ours? When, and where, and how? Well, I'd say it all started around the Civil War, although the rule book says it was sooner. The fact is, we didn't get along too well until photography came into its own. Then there was motion picture in the early 20th century, radio, television. Then things started to have mass.
Do you want it?
Because these things had mass, they became simpler. One time, books appealed to a few people. Here, there, everywhere. People could afford to be different. The world was big, but then the world became full of eyes and elbows and mouths. Double, triple, quadruple the population. Films and radios, magazines, books leveled down to a norm. Do you follow?
I think so.
Picture Montag, 19th century man with his horses, dogs, carts in slow motion. Then in the 20th century, everything speeds up. Your camera is faster, books are cut shorter, classics are cut to 15-minute radio shows, then cut again into just 2-minute book poems, finally ending as a 10-line dictionary resume. Speed up everything, Montag, and soon they fling off all unnecessary time-consuming thought. School gets shortened and discipline is relaxed. English and language are gradually neglected and soon almost completely ignored. Life is immediate. Job counts. The pleasure lies after work. Why learn anything?
Let me fix your pillow.
The zipper replaces the button, and a man lacks just that much time to think while dresses at dawn.
Here.
Get away.
Life becomes one big humiliation, Montag. Everything bang, buff, wow.
And then put that in.
Let me
So it's not
be.
just relaxed.
You like baseball, don't you, Montag?
Baseball's a fine game.
Bowling? How about bowling?
Bowling, yes.
How about golf, football, and basketball?
Fine games, all of them.
More sports for everyone. Group spirit, fun, you don't have to think, eh? More cartoons and books, more pictures, the mind drinks less and less, impatiently. Highways full of crowds going somewhere, nowhere. Hear your market, Montag, the less you handle controversy. Remember that. Authors full of evil thoughts lock up your typewriters. They did. Magazines became a nice blend of vanilla tapioca. Books, so the damn snobbish critics said were dishwater. No wonder books stopped selling, the critics said. But the public let the comic books survive, and the sex magazines, of course. There you have it, Montag. It didn't come from the government down. There was no dictum, no declaration, no censorship. To start with, no! Technology, mass exploitation. The minority pressure carried the trick, thank God. Today, thanks to them, you can all stay happy all the time.
Yes, but what about the firemen then?
Ah, what more easily explained and natural. With school producing more athletes, tinkerers, grabbers, snatchers, flyers, and swimmers instead of examiners, critics, knowers, and imaginative creators, the word intellectual became the swear word it deserved to be. You always dread the unfamiliar. Surely you remember the boy in your own school class who was exceptionally bright, did most of the reciting and answering while others sat hating him. E equals MC squared. And it wasn't it. Oh, so close.
Just start there with
Yeah.
and wasn't.
And wasn't it this bright boy you chose to beat up after hours? Of course it was. Well, we must all be alike. Not everyone born free and equal, as the Constitution says, but everyone made equal. Each man in the image of every other, then all are happy. For there are no mountains to make them cower, to judge themselves against. So, a book is a loaded gun. Burn it. When houses were finally fireproofed completely, firemen were given a new job. As custodians of our peace of mind, the focus of our understandable and right dread of being inferior. Official censors, judges, and executors. That's us, Montag. You must understand that our civilization is so vast that we can't have our minorities upset and stirred. Colored people don't like Little Black Sambo. Burn it. White people don't feel good about Uncle Tom's Cabin. Burn it. The cigarette people don't appreciate a book written about tobacco and lung cancer. Burn it. It's all about serenity and peace, Montag. Funerals are unhappy. Eliminate them too. It's pointless to mourn over death, so we burn the dead right away and forget them, because fire is clean and quick.
There was a girl next door. She's dead now, I think. But I barely remember her, but she was different. How did she happen?
Clarice McClellan? We've got a record on our family. We've watched them carefully. The home environment can undo a lot you try to do at school, which is why we've lowered kindergarten age year after year until we're almost snatching them from the cradle. We always had some false alarms on the McClellans. Never found a book. The girl was a time bomb. For what I saw, her family record, I'm sure the family was feeding her subconscious. She didn't want to know how a thing was done, but why? That can be embarrassing. You ask why to a lot of things, and you wind up very unhappy indeed. If you keep at it, the poor girl's better off dead.
Yeah, dead.
Luckily, there aren't many odd ones like her. We know how to straighten them out early. Don't give them two sides to the question to worry them. Only give them one. Better yet, none. Let them forget there is such a thing as war. It's better to not worry over anything. Peace, remember? Give the people contests they can win by remembering popular knowledge.
Almonds are members of the peach family.
Cram them full of facts, non-combustible data, so full of facts that they feel absolutely brilliant. With information, then they'll feel they're thinking and get a sense of motion without moving. And they'll stay happy, because those sorts of facts don't change. Don't give them slippery stuff like philosophy or sociology to get them mixed up with. Any man who can put together a TV wall is happier than any man who tries to measure and equate the world. So we stick to the automatic reflex. Solid entertainment. Well, I must be going. Lecture's over. I hope I've clarified things. The important thing for you to remember, Montag, is that we're all about happiness. We stand against the small tide of those who want to make everyone happy with the conflicting theory and thought. Don't let the torrent of melancholy and drear philosophy drown our world. We depend on you. And I don't think you realize how important you are. We are to our happy world as it stands now. At some point in his career, every fireman gets an itch. What do the books say, he wonders. Well, take my word for it. I've had to read a few in my time, and the books say nothing. Nothing you can teach or believe. They're about non-existent people, figments of imagination. If they're fiction, non-fiction is even worse. Just professors and philosophers screaming and calling another an idiot.
You're an idiot.
So what if a fireman accidentally takes a book home with him? A natural error. Curiosity alone. We don't get him over anxious or mad. Well, we'll let him keep it for 24 hours. And if he doesn't burn it by then, we'll simply come burn it for him.
Of course.
Well, Montag, will you be taking a later shift today?
I don't know.
What?
I'll be in later, maybe.
Well, we sure would miss you if it didn't show.